Yeah, so certainly there was a delay in this case. There's no beating about around the bush on that. In terms of the communication early on with the Collision Reporting Center, I can't really speak to that. For the most part, while they're affiliated to us, they do operate semi-independently. This isn't a call that's appropriate for a Collision Reporting Center. It absolutely should be a police response here. And unfortunately, in this circumstance, what wasn't really made clear here is that this was reported to us after the fact, sometime after the fact, when the individual was no longer on scene. And when we prioritize our calls, not because this isn't a priority, of course, anytime a child's hurt, it's a priority for police. We have to assign triage priority calls in our ways to respond to it in a timely manner. This case being that this happened after the fact, there was no individual present, there were no injuries reported, an ambulance was declined. It was generated as a call for police response. However, it was assigned a lower priority response so that officers responding in the area to 911 in progress emergencies can do so, and will always get to it.
Constable Bell, we know that every situation is different, but, let's take this opportunity as a learning opportunity, go over some best practices here. What should have been done to get a faster response or a more immediate response from police? And then also, the father did go around door to door. There was a statement from Peel Police released about, confronting individuals can put you at risk. Can you talk about both of those, please?
Certainly. Let's start with the father going door to door. Listen, I can't fault him for that. If someone had hit my child, I'd be out for blood and I'd want to find them too. I certainly can't be in a position to condone or condemn someone taking those things into their own hands. It would be remiss of me not to mention that doing so can put you in harm's way. Just like police officers knocking on doors, we don't ever know, truthfully, what's going to go on behind that door and in that confrontation. And so you'll always hear us tell people not to take certain things into their own hands. This is what the police will do. And we would have done that. He beat us to the punch, and there was a delay there, and it's unfortunate. It's certainly not what we want to see happen. But in this case, ultimately it helped the investigation because he found the individual, and we were able to do so, much faster thanks to his efforts. Not to say it wouldn't have been done. He chose to take matters into his hands.
And Constable, for similar situations in the future where there's a crime, someone reports it to police, they feel like officials aren't moving fast enough, what should they do?
Well, I think it's important to understand that wait times like this are exceedingly rare. Otherwise, we would be talking about it all the time. When calls are triaged and assigned a priority response, many circumstances can create a delay. In this case, particularly in 11 Division, a very, very busy operational division for us here in Peel Region, over that 24-hour period, we saw a higher than normal call volume of high priority calls, whether it be major collisions, whether it be domestic disturbances, mental health calls, or in progress break and enters. These are all things that the public expects us to respond to first, and that's what we do. And the second we have resources available, we get to the non-emergency, non-in-progress calls. In this particular case, what I would have liked to have seen happen is it be reported immediately, whether it be the driver calling into the police saying, I was just involved in a minor collision with a child. I'd like an ambulance to come by and police to come by. Or in this case, the child going to the nearest adult and saying, this just happened, and I need you to at least call my parents. What we don't want to see happen is exceeded delays in this case. I don't fault the father at all one bit. He did everything I think that I would do without the benefit of hindsight here. I would have liked to see him call police immediately and not have a delay here.
And Constable Bell, as we wrap up, what would you like to say directly to Mr. Saeed, the father?
You know what? If I would like to have seen everything here transpire differently, and I'd certainly like to have a further conversation with him to understand where the breakdown in communication happened so that we can do better as a police service and inform the public better. And at the end of the day, our commitment to Mr. Saeed and to anyone is that we are going to follow through with any investigation thoroughly, and we'll absolutely keep in contact with him and make sure that he's made aware of all of the steps that have been taken and the outcome of the investigation that's currently ongoing.
Constable Tyler Bell-Morena with Peel Police, thanks so much for chatting with us today. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
My pleasure, as always.